Some stats emerged, and you might have seen them in the local press, about children from the most disadvantaged backgrounds falling behind through COVID and lockdowns and all of the implications of that. I've raised this quite a lot before as it happens.
Obviously, the impact of COVID on our schools and therefore on our children and young people has been huge. I would argue that perhaps it's still been underestimated, and I've said before in this space that I wouldn't personally have closed schools.
Across the age range, this support needs to focus on the most disadvantaged children, because we know that that existing attainment gap will only be exacerbated by time off school. Those children who had been struggling pre-coronavirus because of chaotic home lives, for example, will only have found that even tougher, and we can't allow that to impact on their long-term life chances any further.
Hugely important issue, and we need to do an awful lot to support the most disadvantaged kids in particular to catch up. It's not a surprise, is it, that if your home life is chaotic, you won't have got as much out of home learning as other kids. It's not a surprise, is it, that if your parents didn't get their GCSEs, they're not going to be able to support you with yours. If you're experiencing abuse, domestic violence, of course being at home during lockdowns was hugely problematic for you, mentally, socially and everything else. And that's why I voted against some of the later lockdowns. For that, we should all have known, and did know, I think, by then. The stats are now bearing out that the long-term implications of that were hugely important and massively will impact on the most disadvantaged children. A lot of work to do to catch up, and I hope this will be a massive priority for government in terms of focusing on the right things in our schools. We're so focused on academic rigour. For so many of those kids, they're not even in a position to come to school and learn because of home lives and all the challenges in their social experiences, right? So loads to get our teeth into. I hope at this point in time, post-COVID recovery, looking forward, will be a chance for us to address all of that and consider our education system perhaps in a slightly different way.